Well, hello and welcome back to another video. Now today is Monday the 29th of March and we have an ormering tide. It's a pretty big tide. It goes over the 9 metre mark, so I think low tide, I haven't actually looked, but I think it's under a metre. I know tomorrow is an even bigger tide. We've got 10 metre high and I think it's a 0.4 low. So yeah, I'm down on the west coast, or sort of southwest of Guernsey, and I'm going to be going out and looking for the abalone. Now I've also got a lobster hook now, so I'll be taking that with me as well, and having a little poke around in a few holes and see if we can find a lobster or any good sized crabs. Yeah, later on this afternoon, if we manage to get a couple of abalone, I've got a little recipe that I'd like to share with you. It's very, very simple, but it actually involves eating the ormer raw. They're just cured, so it's yeah, cured with lime juice, salt, a few different ingredients, but it's really, really simple. And yeah, so I'll be sharing that later on. So I'm just waiting for the tide to go down. You can get across to Lihou now, but the tide's still fairly high, so I'm going to head back to the car, get all the gear, get set up, and then we'll get down there. Right, we're down on the beach. It is such a fantastic day today. The weather is so nice. With the clocks changing just over the weekend, officially into spring now. Summer is just around the corner, which I can't wait. So we've still got 2 hours until low water, so the tide's still fairly high, but there's a lot of pools in here which you can have a rummage around whilst you're waiting for the tide to go down. I'm sort of heading towards the left of the island, and I'm going to have a little wander around the rock pools and everything there, see if we can find any ormers, and then as the tide drops I'll go further round and yeah, hopefully find a few lobster holes. Now I kind of know what I'm looking for, where the lobsters are going to be hiding out from the tide, but I've never actually gone out looking for lobsters before, so it's all sort of trial and error. Do finally have a proper hook though. A friend of mine, Rich, who works at the Cheshire home with me, was kind enough to make it, so thanks very much to him. Hopefully we can find a nice Larry with it. Right, so I'm out towards the left of the island now. It's so warm, but the tide's still fairly high, so I'm just going to wander a bit further round, and there should be some big rock pools around there, which I'll have a look in first. Now I'm hoping the camera battery lasts, especially if I end up finding a few ormers, just to film the curing of them later. So I might not film too much here, and just try and save the battery a little bit, but let's start having a little look around. Right, just turned round and that caught my eye. Little tiny ormer, not even clung to a rock, just loose on the ground. We'll put him back, put him in there. It's always interesting how everything is so camouflaged, yet they will kind of pop out when you're just scanning an area. There's another little baby one there, way undersized. Let's get him back. But yeah, the tide's still streaming out of here. It's going to go out pretty quickly. Let's see if I can get this one over. Nothing under there. feel anything in there though. I wonder if that goes round to the other side. No. There's another little baby one there. Haven't found any which are even close to keeping size yet. And it's hard to know what to focus on, whether to go for the ormers or keep a lookout for all these holes everywhere and ledges. So what I might do is spend the first hour purely looking for ormers. Oh, what was that? Something just flapped about there. Oh well, that's gone. But yeah, might just focus on looking for a few ormers first, and then go rummaging around some holes afterwards. There's another little baby one there. Well, here we have an absolutely micro top nut. Just saw that glide off a rock as I lift the rock over. Tiny, tiny little thing. Cool to see. Lovely colours on it. Well, this is the first hole I've had some rustling in, but it's just a little lady crab. I can get it to grab the hook, but it doesn't want to come out. There's another really, really deep hole here. But there's nothing in it. Just a couple of empty ormer shells I can see down there. Well, it's tough work so far. Oh, more baby ones. This is really hard work around here. Got a feeling that any decent keepers are going to be quite far out. Well, finally, these two are a nicer size. I'm going to get them measured because I'm not too sure if they'll actually be in. Right, so bottom one, oh, that's just out by about 2 mil. This one's going to be out as well, I reckon. Yeah, that one's out by about ½ centimetre. So getting bigger, but still no keepers. That's a shame. There we go. Well, I just found a couple more here. One small one, 2 small ones, because that is undersized as well. But they seem to be under these bigger rocks at the moment. That seems the way to yep, there's another one. Or is that another 2? I think that's just one. That is outsize. But yeah, they're a bit further out in the deeper water. At least we're finding a few now. Well, a couple more there. Again, not in size. Well, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on 3 rocks right next to each other. This one here being the biggest, which is out by about 3 mil. But yeah, this is what I mean about all the small ones. Oh, it's been scraping under here. Look at the size of that. Big starfish. Huge thing that. Getting back under there. Oh, come here, buddy. I've just literally noticed this guy cruising. Come here, can I get in? Ah, little top knot, which is going under this rock now. Where's he gone? There he is. There we go. Another little top knot. Put him back. Under again. So many small ones. Unreal. Well, I seriously can't believe I haven't found any keepers yet. There we go. Oh, that is just scraping. Oh my god. Alright, I'm going to keep this one and check it, double check it later. Hopefully we can find a few more keepers, because it's very close, that one. It's literally just scraping. Wow, it's not my day today. He's literally out by 1 or 2 mil. Tiny ones, absolutely everywhere. Another 4 on that rock. They are absolutely everywhere. I must have found 100 in total. None are of a decent size. Oh, may have found a beauty here. Just clung to that rock. Just managed to get it off. That's a definite keeper. It's got to be. There we go. That is well in by about a centimetre. Happy days. I think I can see another there, but I don't think I'll get that one off. Oh, I've just found another beauty here. This is more like it. There we go. Well in size again. Let's get him off. There we have it. 2 lovely sized walnuts there. That's perfect for the catch and cook. Finally, it's taken so long. Wow, there's another one. Pretty sure that's out. Yeah, just out, that one. Well, this has been really tough going today. I've managed to find 4. 2 of the ormers are questionable, so I'll double check them. If they're not in size, it doesn't matter. 2's plenty to do the cook up with. There's another small one there. But I've had a rummage around a few lobster holes, but haven't come across anything. And to be honest, I've been focusing most of my attention on finding some ormers, so I was actually able to do the catch and cook. And the tide's turning now, so just give it another half an hour and then start heading back. Well, I've just found this one, literally. It's just laying here, just like that. Got a load of weed on it, which is feeding on the weed, I think. Well, that's a good size. Got a few stones stuck to it as well. That's definitely in by an absolute mile. Look at that. Monster. Nice fat one there. Happy days. That was literally just laying here. Not even attached to anything. Now this is the last place I'm going to look around, and then I'm going to start heading back. What an absolutely beautiful day. I'll tell you what, all this area here, in the conditions it is at the moment, has got surface lure written all over it. You never know what's going to be hiding out in amongst all the kelp. Big bass maybe. Right then, I'm going to call it a day. These are the 5 ormers I've managed to find. As you can see, well in size, well in. Definitely in. And these two, these are literally bang on. However, I don't know if I'll take them or not. That one, I think, I mean, it's touching, they're bang on, so I think technically they are in. But what I'm going to do is put these 2 back. Going to leave them under there. And then I've got the 3 here, which are definitely in size, so there's nothing to worry about in case there are any checks. Now I've got 20% battery left, so I may have to go and charge the camera, and then I'll be back out for the cook-up. Right, okay then, we're down on the beach, and as you can see, getting ready to prepare the little dish we're going to do. Now this is abalone ceviche. This is a cured dish, so it's not actually cooked, it's cured with the lemon juice. The acid in the lemon juice is what pickles the fish. You leave it for about 25 minutes to half an hour, and then it's ready to get tucked into. So ingredient wise, we've got some red onion, some red chilli, just a bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of coriander. Obviously I've just bought the 1 abalone here with me, the other 2 I've just taken home. So we have our ormer slash abalone there, which we'll prepare soon. We've got a few limes, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of some orange segments in it. Now the orange goes quite well with it, so don't be alarmed. Yeah, so that's everything. I'm going to get set up and I'll quickly take you through it. So what we have here is our red onion, and all I'm going to do, just stood in a bit of a funny, just stood on a little ledge there, it's a bit difficult, but I'm not going to use all of this. I just need a little bit, because we've only got the 1 abalone. I'm just going to use a small amount of that, but you want this quite fine, so just a fine dice, and that goes into our pot there. Got a bit of chilli, I'm just going to use roughly half a chilli, just in half, slice a bit of that up. Now obviously with the chilli you can put in as much as you like, depending on how spicy you want it. I'm just going to use that amount. So that goes in. Now we have our limes, which if you just give them a little roll on the board, ooh, they'll soften up. Now I'm not actually going to put the lime juice in just yet, but I'll just leave those to one side. And we also have our coriander, which is a little bit wilted now from the heat, but it will be fine. So you can see how easy this is. Coriander goes in. So in there you've got the coriander, the red onion, along with the red chilli. And next up, I'm just going to prepare the orange now to put in afterwards. Now what you want with this is you just want to take the skin off. Now I'll go around the bottom of this again, so any of the skin that you miss, you can just flip it over and do the rest of it. But the idea of this is you just want the orange segment, so just the flesh of the orange. Now I'm just doing this really quickly, but you can spend a bit more time on it and get a nice rounded shape. And then so with this, I'm just going to take off that end as well. You're just going in between sections of the orange there, just in between the skin, and you just want a few of those segments. Probably only need about 4, because like I said, I'm only doing the one ormer. So just cut those up into little cubes, just like that, and they go in as well. Just might do 1 or 2 more. Just get rid of the skin. There we go. That's all in there, ready to go. Now I'll get the ormer cleaned up and show you the rest. Right, so now on to our ormer. Now what I have here is just a cloth. This just makes it easier to grip, and I've got a blunt butter knife here, and what I'm going to do is just go behind the flesh and run it all the way around in a circular motion. They can be quite tough sometimes, but that just pops the meat out of the shell, just like that. Now these are just the guts in here, which what I'll do is just leave that to one side for a second, and then you've got all the guts here. I hope you can see this properly. It's very difficult filming something like this on your own, but you can just use the cloth to grip it a little bit, just get as much of that off as you can. Now they're very slippery, these things, so I do recommend just having a cloth you don't care so much about. Just makes life a lot easier. When you're trying to do it just in your hands, they can go everywhere. Come on, just cut that off. So there's the guts out, and then what I'll do here is just, this is the mouth, just take a V shape out of that, get rid of that. The birds will have that after. Get any bits off that you don't want on there. And I'm actually just going to slice the very top of this part off. This is very tough, this bit. Now we'll be batting this out to tenderize it a little bit. But there we go. That's basically it. There's your ormer there. Now what we'll do is we'll scrub all of this off. All of this is just algae, and you can just scrub it all off with some water. I may actually end up taking the ends of it off anyway, and what I'm going to do is bat it out and slice it really, really thin, and then we'll get it marinated. Right, so what I have here is just a kitchen scour. You can use anything like this, or a sponge, anything with a rough surface. And I'm just going to wet the ormer. I'm actually going to wet the sponge as well. Now obviously if you're at home, this is a lot easier just to do under a running tap, but I haven't got that luxury at the moment, so I'm just going to scrape as much of this off as I can. And just use a cloth again to grip it properly. I know it doesn't look very pleasant. If you're doing it in a kitchen, you can obviously get it looking a lot nicer. But I'm just going to get the worst of it off here. So this is just all off the bottom. So you can see that nice white flesh. Give it a little rinse. And then you can just push your finger into these bits, open it up a bit, and start getting all that algae off. So it does come up quite nicely, as you can see. It's difficult to really get into all the crevices of it, but you're just looking to get the worst off. So again, then I'll do the other side and we'll nearly be good to go. Right, that one will do. Right, so next step, what I'm going to do is just place the ormer into this cloth, cover it over like that, and hopefully this board doesn't go flying because it's not very secure. Just grabbed a rock and I'm just going to bat it out. And you just want to tenderize it a bit. Might have chosen a bit of a heavy rock here, but that will do. So you can see it's split a bit, but that's no worries at all. And then what I'm going to do now is just, usually when you're preparing them, you won't have to do this, but I'm just going to take off the very ends there. Just all the way around it. Now again, I know this doesn't look very appetizing, but once you have it finely sliced up and in that marinade, it's going to be tasty. I'm just going to give that one last rinse, and then now you can either do this in cubes. I'm just literally going to do it in very thin slivers. And this way, the thinner it is, the quicker it's going to cure. So all of that goes in, just like that. And then we have our lime. So we're going to put the juice of 3 limes in there. So there we go, lime juice goes in. Just going to do one more there, because you want the lime juice to be covering the fish as you're leaving it to marinate. And then now we're just going to give that, mix it all up in all those flavours,
all that acid of the lemon juice, and then the final touch to it, just a bit of salt and pepper. There we go. Give it another mix up. And I'm going to leave that for 25 minutes. So I'll come back to you when it's ready to eat.
Now it's been about 10 minutes, just leaving the ceviche to marinate a little bit longer, and then it will be ready to go. But yeah, it's a bit difficult filming on your own, filming this sort of thing. So I hope it turns out all right. This is a really simple recipe, and like I said, you can do it with any whitefish, anything which is free from parasites basically. You want it to be as fresh as possible. If you're going to do it, either catch the fish yourself or get it from a fishmonger. Don't buy it from a supermarket, don't buy farm fish. Yeah, as fresh as possible, and yeah, it's beautiful, lovely way to eat fish. So I'm just going to wait another 15 or 20 minutes and then we'll be good to go. Now this is pickling away nicely, and what you're looking for here, don't know if you can see very well on the camera, is just when the flesh of the fish starts to go a nice white colour. This is the acid of the lemon juice penetrating through it, which effectively is curing it. And obviously you've got that raw red onion in there, so that's also curing. It's going to soften nicely, not be too overpowering. So it shouldn't be long now, and we can have a taste test. Okay, so here we have it. Almost ceviche, prepared very quickly. Now, it's the all-important taste test. You want to get a bit of everything in there. So there you go. Lovely fresh ormer, cured by the acid and the lemon juice. Oh my god. It's so simple. I mean, it could not be easier, but the flavours you get out of it are just incredible. It's nice and tender as well. And the orange in it, just a little subtle sweetness. So much flavour. But yeah, give it a try. You can try it with the ormers, scallops, whitefish. It really is delicious. I've done it with bass before, so that's another catch and cook that's been on the channel. So I know this is the same sort of thing, but just wanted to show you something a little bit different, that's all. Traditionally these are cooked in very slowly in a casserole, a very old Guernsey traditional dish. You can just pan fry them, beat them out and pan fry them. There's a lot of Chinese recipes you can do with them as well, with oyster sauce, different sorts of mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms and things like that. So they are quite versatile. There are many Asian recipes which I've looked at a few guys online doing catch and cooks with abalone, and some of the things they make are amazing. So yeah, it's such a very versatile seafood to use. But yeah, so that's it for this episode, and like I said, very good. Now, I'll be out tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get some more ormers and actually have a proper look for a lobster as well. So until the next one, I'll see you out on the rocks sometime soon.